first step is to take off the tire. Make sure it's the right way. And don't be afraid because it will get hard to do it. You don't feel like it's coming off, just push harder. When you feel like your whole wrist is going to come off, then you know you have it. You want to make sure the tire is straight. Then this part, you just take the tire off. Oh, this time it came off nice and easy, but putting it on will be a trick, so we'll talk about that later. Move this aside.
So you want to open it up so that you can get the pads loose. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is I'll start with a screwdriver and I'll get it in. See the circular piece? That's the piston.
Yeah.
You want to get your screwdriver in behind there and start working that piston back.
Okay.
Once I get it to move just a little bit, I'll grab that silver pry bar. I'll grab you the tools you need, and then pry that sucker over to open it all the way up. So, because otherwise, with the new rotor and the new pads, it's going to be too thick. So you want to make sure this circle thing, that's the piston, all the way back. Okay? So we want to get, see this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew what you meant by that.
I don't like to get carried away and break my screwdrivers. There, you can see I opened it up quite a bit. Now I can get the pry bar in there. And now I can really get her. Whatever you got to do, however you can pry on it. I like to have the wheel turned out a little. So now we can get in there and really get it good.
Oh, just force it back and forth.
Yep. It takes quite a bit of force.
Oh, came out. Look at the shim came out.
That's okay. We're replacing all of it anyway.
Holy.
I would not be doing this if any of these parts were being reused. Whatever.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal.
Holy crap.
There'll be all new shit going in it. There, I feel like I have it. Oh, there it went.
It's open now.
There, so now the caliper is all the way open. Here, we'll even show this on the camera. So now you can see the caliper is all the way open. Nothing even close to the pad, so you should have plenty of room for reassembly.
So now I'm going to take these
Now
two bolts out.
These two bolts, and then the caliper will come off, and then I have hangers that you'll hang the caliper because you don't want it to hang on the brake line. That's bad. But these two bolts, they're just going to loosen up, and then there's a pin in here.
Okay.
And then it'll be these two. See where my finger is? Which are the same size, but those are going to be really tight.
Okay.
And there's two of them, and that'll take the bracket off, and then the rotor will fall on the ground.
Okay.
All right? And these should be 15 millimeter.
Okay.
Oh.
Start with the bottom one since it's a little easier. That's beautiful. It came out nice and easy. You don't want to go crazy because you don't want to strip them out. You want to either get a bin or anything to set out your parts.
Here, let me get the other ones loose for you too.
I got the bottom one already. Then I can try.
There, everything's loose, okay?
I'm going to hold the brake pad so it doesn't fall. Normally you want to wear gloves when you start doing this, but today we are not. Just want to wiggle and shimmy it out. It might bend a little bit, so be careful. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen the other bolts. This just comes right off. So before you do that, you want to grab a hanger to hang it. So right now we're just going to go ahead and set this here for right now. Until we can get a hanger. I'm going to grab a pair of gloves because apparently that's what happens. So you just want to position the hook here anywhere that'll be convenient for you. And then just remove it. That's too low. So find a spot that's not going to be low. Looks like it just pops in. You can just hang it right on the coil. That should be just fine for now. We're just going to move that out of the way. There we go. So now we can get access to the bolts so the rotor will come off. We might want to move that hook because it might be in the way of us trying to get these bolts out, so we'll just move it back farther. And I can just remove the rest of the bolts and the rotor should come off. I do not know if this...
Yeah, you can use the gun if you want, or the little ratchet.
Okay.
And then you're going to start needing parts.
Yep.
And yeah, these pads,
I see that.
they're done.
Right,
Show them to the camera here. There ain't crap left. I mean, we probably could have run another week or two.
Okay. There we go. So then this should just come right off, and that will just fall off. So as you can see here, the pads are pretty done. There's a lot of wear all over that. So we'll be replacing everything new. And the rotor itself too. So as you can see that these pretty done. Probably had a week left compared to this guy. So now we're going to change the rotor. As you can see, this is the old one. That's pretty worn out, and we're going to be replacing with brand new upgrade. Right here, very nice and shiny. Helps if we have the wheel turned. Manually. Pretty much its pattern here, so let's put it on the way it should go. And now we are in. Nice and shiny. seat it all the way in. You want to look over all your parts, make sure everything is intact.
I'll grab a rag too. I just do that to hold the rotor in place. Now you got to put your bottom bracket back in. Put this one and this one back in there. We don't want to get them dirty if we don't have to. Okay, now we got that cleaned up. Now we're gonna
I thought you put those on before.
put this bracket back in here.
I thought you put the brake pads in there.
You can, but it's easier to do it this way. Now remember, these were fucking tight, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna make them fucking tight. So there. So now, what I like to do is any friction surface, I lubricate. Because that'll keep your brakes working smoothly. Don't get it on the rotor. So we're going to put a little bit in there. Usually I do it before I put it together, but whatever. So we got that lubed up. Got a little under rotor. We'll hit it with a brake clean. And I like to paint all of this. And these are going to ride in there, so now we know we got plenty of lube on those. I like to put the wear indicator on the inside, because if they start to wear uneven, it's usually the inside that'll wear faster. So now this one does not have the wear indicator, so I'm going to put this one on the outside. This is the wear indicator. See, what happens is as the brake pad wears away, this will start touching the rotor and it'll squeak louder than fuck. I'm not sure what the correct orientation is for it, but this is the way that I've always done it, and it's always worked. Now you take a caliper that you had hanging, see these little nipples? Bitch. Yeah. you don't want a bunch of dirt on it. Luckily it didn't. Oh, that fucking thing. That was glued in. Same thing with this. With a good wipe so it's clean. And we put some nice new brake grease on there. Now once again, the first time you step on your brakes in the car, they're going to go to the floor. It's going to scare the piss out of you. So I'm making sure I say that to you now. Because we opened the caliper all the way up.
You want that ooze?
Yep. Give it a little torquey. Okay. This side is completed. Now if I can only get the fucking lug nut off. Always start your nuts by hand. Or you will cross thread eventually. You'll get lucky for a while running them on there with the gun or whatever, but I've seen people doing it.
Yeah.
You might get lucky for a little while, but eventually you're gonna round one off.
Those are pretty. The rotors.
We tighten them in a star pattern or crisscross. We'll torque them when we put the car on the ground. We'll set the torque wrench and we'll actually tighten them up. This side's done.